All right, y'all know what time it is, and welcome to another edition of the ATL 3 Style Live. I am one of your co-hosts. I am Leo G. That's how I'm known as. I'm sitting over here with my other partner, man, out there on the east side. What's going on?
What's going on, Leo G?
Derek
It's
Cole.
a bright,
Derek Cole in the
early
house.
Saturday morning.
That it is. Late nights and early mornings, man. Shout out to you. Man, listen, man. You know, okay, so birthday pass, you missed the last podcast, brother. You know what I'm saying? We shouted you out. Okay,
Appreciate you.
whole Virgo. So listen, I'm gonna just be real with you, dog. I'm a hate right now, just a little bit, dog. Look, Virgo season, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta bring this thing to a close here, man. Cause I can't celebrate like I used to, man. You know what I'm saying? Been celebrating with you, man, and you know, cause you've been doing this whole Virgo season. I'm used to doing one day. You know what I'm saying? But you do the whole season, dog. I'm not as young as I used to be, brother. I can't keep going like this.
Hey, let me tell you something. You ain't the only one hating. Our whole tailgate crew hate on us because it's about 50, 11 of us in the tailgate crew. And the new members talking about, well, dog, how many is it of y'all? A lot.
It's too much, man. It really is, man. But shout out to all the Virgos and everything like that, though, man. Especially this dude right here, man. Cause like I said, he go the whole season, this Virgo season. I said, damn, okay. But it's coming to a close. I hope you had a good time in your Virgo season and everything like that. I can give myself a break. I can start running out here in these ATL streets and
Yes,
chill
sir.
for the rest of the year, possibly, man. But
everything you showing
is
up last night, my brother. Appreciate
absolutely,
you showing
man.
up last night to celebrate with a
Absolutely.
brother.
A time was
time.
had, a time was had. Yes, sir. Out there in
Yeah.
the ATL streets, man. We can't do it like we used to, but when we do it, we do it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. My wife told me to sit down somewhere.
Hey, man, that ain't always a bad thing.
No, it ain't.
It ain't always a bad thing, man. Welcome to the ATL 3 Style Show live. We doing it here, man. Welcome to our guests. And we're going to crank this thing up. As y'all see, we missing one. It's 3, but we missing one. Hopefully, man, we'll get them on here in just a second, man. But we had to go ahead and fire this thing on up like we usually do because we doing it live on Facebook. So shout out to everybody this morning that's with us and rocking with us over breakfast, coffee, whatever the case may be. But before we get into the meat of the show, because we got a lot to talk about, man. Derek Cole, I got to get into some business here for just a second. All right, man. We got to announce our partnerships here, man. We got a couple of partnerships that we want to announce. First partnership going out to my man over there at BEZ Moisturizing Conditioner Beard Spray. Go ahead and check him out, man. He does some good stuff. If you want to get a hold of him, man, because you know he kind of be busy, he be here and there, man. But he's trying to get his products out there in these stores. But right now, you can catch him at 470-222-9927. 470-222-9927. Catch him over there. BEZ Beds Moisturizing and Conditioner Spray, man. Shout out to him. Like I said, it's good stuff. Y'all see my beard, man. It's doing real good, man. It's coming in real nice and be smelling good and everything like that there. So, man, definitely check him out. And also, we got, you know what, though, Derek? Before we go to our next partner, I see somebody that just decided to wake on up and join us. What's going on over there on the south side, man? To my man Banks over there. What's going on?
How you feeling, y'all? Leo, Derek, how y'all feeling?
Hey, man,
Boy,
we doing
sound
all
like
right.
you had a rough night.
Ooh, did you have a rough one, boy?
Yeah,
what's going on?
I'm having some technical difficulties on my end with my computer, so have to forgive me. I'm a little frustrated, that's all.
Okay, all
Man,
right.
it's all
We see.
good, man. We just glad you joined us.
Right.
out
Hey,
here doing this thing. What?
you know what I'm saying?
What's up, Derek? I thought Derek was gonna say something. Okay, but look, we're gonna say now that we got our man Banks, man. Shout out to our man Banks, man. We're gonna get into our third. I'm sorry, I said third. Our second partner, man. That's my man Phil over there at Eastlands Woodworking Company. He got something for you, man, for all occasions, graduations, weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, anniversary, whatever you need, he got you, man. Go over there and check out his work. He can do a little something for you, man. Support our small businesses for real, man. They really, really, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, man. So scan the QRC code on your screen. Holla at our boy Phil, man. He could definitely hook you up, man. He got a lot of work out there, man. And he's trying to do it, man. So shout him out. Tell him we sent you, man. Tell him ATL 3 Style Podcast sent you, man, and he'll look out for you for real, man. So scan that QRC code. We'll be putting that QRC code back up at the end of the show as well. Banks, we were just talking, man, here before we get into the show and do our fit check, drink check, man. Derek Cole is still celebrating this damn Virgo season. He been doing it like this the whole like 90 days, man. So he dragging everybody around out here in these ATL streets. And I said, man, we ain't as young as we used to be, baby. You got to slow down. I'm used to one birthday and that's it. This dude want to string this thing out for 90 days, man. I'm like, bro, come on now.
I kind of feel Derico on this. Soon as April 1st hit, that is my birthday month, and I celebrate all 30 days. So I kind of feel you on that, Derico. Now I am on that whole month celebration.
Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all
It
got to
goes
do it.
from August 23rd to September 22nd. That's all I'm gonna say. So you know what
All right, man.
September 22nd is, right, fellas?
It's tomorrow, so it's about to close this thing on out. All right. We
And we're
about
gonna
to close
close
it
it.
out.
We're
Thank
gonna
God.
close it with a bang, 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 bang.
All right. We're gonna see. So speaking of which, Derek Cole, let everybody know what's going on tomorrow. We got something big going on tomorrow before we get into the show, though. But let everybody know where they can find you at tomorrow if they want to kick it for the last day of Virgo season.
Yeah, y'all come on out to the corner of Nelson and Northside. I tell people 170 Northside Drive, right across the street from Atlanta, Tucky. That's a shameless plug, but there you go. We like to encourage y'all to come out to the best tailgate in the city, the Atlanta Falcon Players. We doing it at 1 o'clock tomorrow because we got an 8 o'clock game. Yeah, I said 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's what time we starting at 1 o'clock for an 8 o'clock game. That's how we do it. So y'all come out. We might have a flyer in by the end of the show. My boy Baby Banks came and blessed us with his presence last game. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, I gotta sing you something because I'm a man of my word, so I need to sing you something since it was your first time at the tailgate.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to kind of reiterate what you were saying about tomorrow is 1 o'clock. You trying to get everybody to forget about the whole experience. I see. You want everybody out there bright and early before the game, and it's going to be a lot of adult beverages. I'm pretty sure. So I don't think anybody's going to remember that game.
Hey man, it's called
Yeah,
pacing yourself. It's called pacing yourself. This is a marathon and not a sprint. So if you do plan
that,
on
that
getting there at 1 o'clock and partying with the Falconers, man, pace yourself, man. Listen, it's called hydration, it's called water, it's called Gatorade, and pace yourself. Listen, man, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for somebody to be all fell all out over there, can't even make it in the game. Look, we got to sprint this thing. I mean, we got to slow track this thing on out. So I'm talking to you, Banks. We're not gonna carry your ass 2 years ago. We're not we, but it's all good, man. It's time to be had tomorrow up there, like Derico said, corner of Northside Drive and Nelson, man, for the Falconor players tailgate, one of the best in the city. Bang, since you're just not joining us, man, let's do the fit check, drink check, brother. Let's let everybody know what you got on.
hold on. Well, I need to correct you on something, sir.
Okay, my bad.
You said one of. I said the best. So I'm letting you know it is the best tailgate in the city.
Okay, I stand
Let's not get
corrected.
it.
The best tailgate in
Let's
the
not
city.
get it twisted.
My apologies. The best tailgate in the city. He putting it up on the whole city. So he just told y'all now it's the whole damn city. All right. My bad. My apologies. This is the best one in the city. All right, man. Let's go around here, man, so we can get into this thing, man. Banks, fit check, drink check. What's up? What you got?
I'm not doing nothing big, fellas. I'm doing the old throwback of prime time, number 21, and throwing the prime time hat. And it's nothing big today, fellas. Just some good old H2O and nothing, no coffee, no nothing. Just wah wah.
All right, man. Over to you, Derrico. What's up?
I was supposed to have some water, but I didn't make it to the refrigerator. So I ain't drinking nothing. But I got on my ATL gradient personalized Derrick on the back and my white ATL hat. I got a bottle, but it ain't bourbon today, my brother. I'm going with the birthday bottle today, sir, that I'm out here. This Don Julio 1942. I want to put that on blast because maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I have a shot or two of this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell nobody if I do. But if y'all want to join me, y'all more than welcome because y'all my brothers. Y'all be the only ones that are partake in this right here.
Hey, man, that's what's up. See, I'm glad you said something, man. Cause if I'm gonna go that way, I got to know before I show, so I can make sure my system right. We can't be doing the cross contamination and mixing. So yeah, if we do that, then we do that. So we'll get that figured out tomorrow, man. So for real, shout out. Listen, I'm a little light work today, man. Y'all see the ATL, the Atlanta Falcons hat, man. Threw on one of them practice, my old school practice Atlanta Falcons locker room shirts. You know what I'm saying? Just because we about to get into it, man. Falcons, Falcons, Falcons for real, man. This is gonna be a big show today, man, because we got a lot to talk about and a lot to get into, man. So let's go ahead and get into. Oh, and I'm drinking some water, by the way. I got Fiji over here. That's what I'm drinking. It's too early to be the shenanigans like we told y'all earlier, man, the Virgo, you know what I'm saying? The Virgos don't play, so we trying to recuperate. So Derek O say he gonna grab him some water, he'll be right back. So Banks, while Derek O his left eight. So we're gonna get into it, man. Let's go, man. Atlanta versus Philly. And before we get into it, I know we're gonna switch some things up here on the outline, man. We're gonna talk about the game, but one of the big things I wanted to talk about before we actually get into what happened, is Falcons PTSD. Yeah, I said it, Falcons PTSD. I want to talk about this because this is something I think that a lot of Falcons fans, don't necessarily like to put out there. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there, man. A lot of us suffer from PTSD with these birds. You know what I'm saying? You a Falcons fan, you suffer from PTSD. And it's like, man, we cannot see the forest for the trees a lot of times as Falcons fans. Derek, I'm gonna pass it over to you, man. And it's no shame in my game. I know I suffer from it, and sometimes, it's a glass half empty, glass half full kind of analogy, man. And I can't get myself together sometimes when these boys come on, especially in certain situations. We'll get into it in just a second. Derek, man, your Falcons PTSD, man, where is it on the scale, and how does it affect you sometimes when you look at these boys? Is it negatively? Is it positively? Please explain. Let's go into this.
Well, since I have gotten a little more mature in life, it's gotten less. It used to be on 10, like all the time, all the time. So since, like I said, since I got a little more mature, it's gonna drop down to about a 6. You know what I'm saying? Because my expectations have been like, hey, let me limit that because that blood pressure ain't no joke, dog. High blood pressure, and the Falcons giving me some high intensity blood pressure. So I had to pipe that down. So I'm gonna say about a 6, bro.
About a 6, about a 6. I think I'm there along with you, man. I might be a good 7. Not, I'm not where I used to be, you know what I'm saying, when I was a little younger, but at the same time, man, it still kind of affects the way I look and I view the game sometimes, man. Because you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too, you don't want to get too high, you kind of want to stay in the middle, man, because you just never know what you're gonna get, man. Because they put us through a lot, man. It is, people talk about, bad relationships, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it feels that way from time to time. And with each season, though, you got to take the good with the bad, man. And we just started this season. Banks, I'm gonna bring it over to you here, man. Derrico and I have just expressed how we feel and where our PTSD levels are with the Atlanta Falcons when we watch this game. Banks, let us know where you are with your Falcons PTSD and how it affects you on game day and when you watch these boys, brother.
Well, pretty much, man. PTSD for me, it's the same all the way through, man. I think and Derrico, the 2016 changed me as a fan. And a lot of people was like, well, you still look at the Falcons as the same, even though it's a different team. It's just the principle. I think for a lot of people, and I'm including myself, that in order for a lot of people to get out of that PTSD, I think the Falcons just got to be consistent. I mean, they got to be consistent. They got to win. They got to, I would say, win a championship, but I think what people want to see is just consistency. I don't think people want to jump on board all the way, and then all of a sudden you win 2 games, and then they lose 5 in a row, and then it's you know how this city is, man. They rep in another city as soon as the rough patches start. You know, I didn't know we had Houston Texans fans in this city. We do. We got Houston Texans fans. That was a shock for me. Um, but I mean, like I said, consistency. I think the PTSD will go away.
That's what's up, man. I mean, consistency, that's what we want. And like I said, sometimes, man, we look at it as fans, going into Philly, it was an unfavorable matchup for the Falcons. And I think that, like you said, Banks, you just summed it up, man. Past experiences or what you have to go on, and sometimes they just won't leave your head. They won't escape you. So you look at things in a way sometimes, it's just like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to get hyped for these boys. I mean, I guess, like you said, 2016 just kind of changed you, man, and just it is what it is. But let's get into this Philly game, though, because it changed me. I'm still celebrating, fellas. Falcons going to hostile territory, man. Beat them Eagles 22-21, man. What a damn game. First thoughts on this game, Derek, man, because listen, like I said, dude, I'm still watching highlights. I'm dude, I'm still basking in this, man. Because for me, and we'll get into it. This is probably one I put this. I've been watching these boys for a long time. I put this up there as probably one of, we can possibly go top 10 as far as like games and comebacks is concerned for this franchise, man. I'm still riding the high. I ain't gonna lie, Derek. How you feel about that Monday night win against the Eagles up there in Philly?
Hey, let me tell you, you talking about intensity. Like I'm always gonna be honest. So I'm just like before the game, just don't get embarrassed on national TV. That was my expectation. Just don't get embarrassed on national TV. And boy, we had a butt clincher to the end. So I am absolutely positively happy, excited about that part. The game was good. I mean, it wasn't like the Thursday night game we just watched. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like the Thursday night game. It was actually an exciting, good game. And boy, let me tell you, after that interception by Jesse Bates the third that sealed the game, that's when all of us said, because it was still
Collectively.
time on the clock. We still was like, something gonna happen. Ain't that right, Banks? I know Banks gonna be like, yeah, until 0-0-0-0 on the clock.
That
Yeah,
PTSD, PTSD, right?
ain't no cheering.
That PTSD kind of kicked in after we had that drive and took the lead, man. I know a lot of Falcons fans PTSD kicked in. I know there's a lot of people sitting on their couch like this here when they saw that time left on the clock. They were like, and I think I maybe know one of the people that was probably looking like that. Pass it over to our man Banks. Banks, how did you feel about this win, man? Falcons versus the Eagles, man.
I would like to say for once in y'all lives, both of y'all were wrong. I was at work. Unfortunately, I had to watch it from the break room of Hartsfield International Airport. So I was surrounded by non-Falcon fans, and of course, I was the only one who had to rep the city. And the way I hollered when Drake London caught the go ahead touchdown, it was like a release because the game was over, fellas. I mean, you remember on that 3rd and 3, the game was over. All they had to do was what, get a first down. We had no more timeouts. Yeah, I was sulking. I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. 18-15. We did what we could. When he dropped the ball and gave us a shot, I said, well, wait a minute now. Well, hold on, what we got here? And he got the ball down to the other side of the field in a blink of an eye. People that was not Falcon fans was like, it was getting less quiet. It was just getting more like, oh, Why Philly did this, why Philly did that, and then the more of the time, the more they kept asking why Philly did this and did that, we just kept getting first downs. It was beautiful to see that Drake London with the touchdown. It was complete silence and me hollering and screaming. Now, let me fast forward after that. Philadelphia gets the ball. Yes, it was very cheek clenching at the time, and I was sitting down and I was twirling my thumbs, shaking nervously, you know, inside. I'm like, please do not blow this. Don't do this while I'm sitting here in front of all these haters. Do not blow this game. And when Jesse Bates caught that interception, the way I ran out of that, the way I ran. I didn't want to talk junk to nobody. I ran out of that break room because they knew that that we did something. We did something, fellas. And I ran out that break room. I was elated. I had a flight that I had to work, fellas, and I was still going back and forth from TV to flight, TV to flight. I could have easily got in trouble. I guess nobody don't tell nobody that. But yes, it was it was beyond PTSD. It was elation for me, fellas. Elation.
Hey man, listen here. First thing I'm gonna say this right here, man. I think several years ago here, man, it was a singer by the name of Lenny Kravitz. He had a hit song, and I think the name of the song or some lyrics in the song was "It Ain't Over, Baby, Till It's Over." Let me tell you something here, man. I don't know why we look at games and we look at things sometimes and we feel like, oh, it's so until you see 000 on that clock, it ain't over, man. It's not. And the way I felt about it was, hey, the Eagles did what they did. Things happen. They could have did other things, but hey, they didn't. They did what they did, and they gave us an opportunity to go down there and take the lead. So very fortunate for us that they tried to go and seal it, and it didn't get done. It's football. That is football. Let me, and that takes me into my next segment. Did the Falcons actually win this game, or did the Eagles lose this game? And that's been a topic of conversation amongst Falcons fans and also, the talking heads all over the nation. So I'm gonna say this much right here. The Falcons won this game, and I'm gonna tell you why. The Falcons took advantage of the opportunities that were in front of them. Listen, the game was very, very tough. I mean, this wasn't no, back and forth, score fest, obviously, as the score indicates. But you lose some battles and you win some, because football is all about winning some battles and losing some battles. And sometimes, hey, the battles, what I'm saying, the wins of those battles ended up making sure you win the war or you win the game. So ultimately, the opportunities that were presented to the Falcons, when they needed to, they stepped up at the right time to win the game. The last game drive, the touchdown pass to Drake London, and the interception by Jesse Bates. Those are two battles that won us the game and sealed the deal. And also shout out to my man Younghoe Koo for kicking that 48-yarder after Drake London got excited and had that, I don't know what that was, that he, that mind fart or whatever he did when he made that crazy celebration. But anyway, I digress. The Falcons won this game. Make no mistake about it. All you people talking about, the Eagles lost, Saquon dropped the ball, this, that, and the third. The Eagles still had opportunities to win this game, fellas. They did. They got the ball back, and Jesse took it from them. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts had an opportunity. All they needed was like 25 yards to get a field goal range to win that thing, and they didn't. We took it. Hostile territory. Derek O, passing over to you again, man. People talking about that the Eagles lost, the Falcons didn't win. Your take on that?
See, what I'm not gonna do is sit here and go back and forth with somebody talking about, hey, did they win or did they lose? Did the Philly get the game or did the Falcons take the game? All I know is when I look at the record sheet, it say W and it say L for Philadelphia. 22-21, 1 point, 3 point, 8 point, 20,000 points. It don't matter. All it takes is 1 point. So the Falcons had one more point than Philly. So that means the Falcons won the game. And if you got a problem with that, tell them to do what they needed to do to avoid losing by that 1 point that it takes to win the game. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Absolutely. I'm about to pass it over to you, Banks. Falcons, Eagles lost the game. The Falcons didn't actually win. And then another thing is, just to add to that before I give it over to you, Banks, the Eagles, they're supposed to be the team like the Falcons. When are you? That's another thing too, and I'm gonna get into it here in just a second. But I'm gonna let you talk about this topic for just a second, though, Banks. But these people that think that teams are supposed to beat certain teams in the NFL. That's another topic I want to get on really quickly after Banks expands on who what did the Falcons win or did the Eagles lose this game?
I mean, y'all both basically stole my thunder. I mean, my thing is, look, it ain't our fault that Sirianni decided that he wanted to throw the ball on 3rd and 3. That's not our problem. You know, he did it. They didn't execute it. It didn't happen. We got the ball. We walked it down the field. We got a touchdown. Philadelphia had a chance to win it. We picked it off. End of story. Like Derico said, the record says 1-1. And I don't care about this who won it, who lost it, if, ands, buts, but whatever. Guess what? Game is over. It's over. I mean, I mean, are we gonna sit here? I mean, who when you check the source, like who's like bringing this up? Is this the media doing this? Is this haters saying this? I mean, who cares? Okay, no one's talking about did Philadelphia lose that Super Bowl or did Kansas City win it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. The fact is they got more points than the other team, right? Okay. So I mean, that's that whole who won it, who lost it. The team won it. The team lost it. That's how you should put it. The team won, team lost. 1-1.
At the end of the day, that's it, man. At the end of the day, that's what we look at, the wins and losses. I'm a golfer, fellas, and it's funny because one of the things in golf is that if you get a score on the score sheet, right? Like Derico said, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. Like in golf, if you get a birdie in golf, it don't matter how ugly it is. When you write it down on the score sheet, it's a birdie. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna, if you had to hit that bad boy out of the woods off a tree root, don't nobody know that. But you got that birdie on that hole. That's all that matters. So the win is what matters. All this, the especially with the media, and I'm gonna get into that here in just a second as well, with who won, who lost. I mean, those are topics I guess they want to discuss. It makes good banter, but for us as fans, we don't care. We just want to win in the win column. All that other mess, you can miss me with that. One of the other things too that I wanted to talk about, fellas, and I'm gonna get this over to you here, Banks. And I kind of felt a little slighted, so I'm not even gonna lie. I was a little in my feelings about this as I watched the game. Banks, I know you were unable to kind of watch the game in its entirety, but there were a couple of things that I got in my feelings about, and I just want to get your take on this as well, because somebody has come out and apologized about it. During this whole broadcast on Monday night, Falcons versus Eagles, there was a whole, you could feel the whole broadcast team kind of shift in their feelings and how they felt about this game and where they were going with it. The pregame picks were all Eagles. The talk was all about Eagles, Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. There was hardly any talk about the Falcons whatsoever. I mean, it was just like the Falcons were there for an Eagles party. That's pretty much what it was. And I kind of felt slighted and disrespected the whole entire game watching it, to the point where I turned the volume down because I was like, this is crazy. Then they brought in Jason Kelce, you know what I'm saying, in the second half of the game to start talking about the tush push and the Eagles offensive line. To me, at that point, it was really a slap in the face because it's like I said, we're an afterthought. We're just there. Then fast forwarded to a couple of minutes left in the game, Scott Van Pelt had the audacity to say that we're going to be broadcasting live from the winner's locker room. Looks like it's going to be Philadelphia before it was 000 on the clock. Felt very disrespected with that. Very, very slighted. This team and this city always get slighted by the national media, and the narrative is always spun however they want to do it. And as a fan, I just felt some type of way about that. So I wanted to get that off my chest. But shout out to Jason Kelce. Shout out to Jason Kelce because he did actually apologize to Falcons fans about how the broadcast was so biased toward the Eagles on Monday night. He recognized that and he apologized. So shout out to him for doing what he did because he understood that it was two teams that was playing and not just one. And I just wanted to give a shout out and prop to him on that. Banks, I'm going to give it to you about how you feel with the spin on the coverage of them having a whole Eagles butt kissing. I mean, just rubbing and loving all over the Eagles and just basically ignoring the fact that we were even there.
Well, I mean, fellas, get used to it. I mean, it's all about, what's the flavor of the week. And the flavor of the week was Philadelphia. They beat the Green Bay and San Pablo. Falcons came off an ugly game against Pittsburgh. I mean, it was really nothing to talk about in Atlanta front for that moment. I mean, that I could understand. But the whole bias, with Jason Kelsey, I mean, for him to backtrack what he said, I would rather him not said anything. I mean, because now you're looking like a complete, even more dumber than you did when you first started doing it about, Eagles by 50, whatever the hell that means. But you almost did that to make it seem like, okay, we didn't get the results that we thought we were going to get. So in order for me that to look so dumb, let me go ahead and just say this. I don't think it was anyone thought anything about it, to be honest with you. As for Van Pelt, I mean, to his defense, it was over because at that moment, you keep watching the game, it was Falcons no timeouts, Eagles with the ball. I mean, get a first down, game is over. I mean, no one knew that Sirianni was going to call a passing play at 33. I mean, that was out of left field. Let me tell you something. When I go around, not just Eagle fans around NFL, it's like, what was Sirianni thinking? Like, this is like one of the biggest blunders of the week. Like, you really pissed away a win, just that simple. Yeah, he did. He did that. And for one, I mean, just say this, fellas. I would like for once in my Falcon Fear fan tenure as me sitting here talking to you guys that I love to be on that side of the ball for once, to be the one looking like a jackass that couldn't close the game out. So yeah, to be on that other side of the ball, it felt wonderful to know that somebody else is an idiot,
Man, listen.
and it was look, hey, we had nothing to apologize for. Okay, we went in there, Lincoln Financial Field, where we were the underdogs. No one gave us a shot. Everyone said this was basically a runaway for Philadelphia, a runaway, a runaway, and only thing was runaway was the Falcons run away with a victory. So yeah, holla.
Yeah, listen. I'm never gonna listen. Sirianni put his trust in the play call, and it just didn't go their way. One thing about coaches is, man, you gotta trust your players, right? He trusted that Saquon was gonna catch that ball, game over. But there is the human factor involved. Saquon still had to catch it. He dropped it. Was it the right call? I mean, we could argue
It
back and
doesn't matter,
forth.
Leo,
It
because
doesn't, but
if he caught it, no one's gonna bring
it's
it up.
over.
So I
Exactly,
mean,
exactly. So the call is the call that needs to be made in the moment. That call was made. They tried to execute that play. It didn't happen. We all know the end of the story. Derek Cole, giving it over to you here, talking about just the narrative of how I felt that he was kind of slighted and disrespected nationally as we played this game versus the Eagles. How did you feel about that watching the broadcast, man?
I mean, how can I put this in words? Normal. It's just normal. That's just what they do to Atlanta. It's just normal. I mean, it's just like, hey, it's always an afterthought, always the whipping boy, always the runner up at homecoming. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So it's just normal. The whole Jason Kelsey thing really just blew me off because it was just like you brought this dude in here to be the other dude 2.0. And they ain't gonna mention his name. He got his own little show. He used to kick the football as a kicker. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Not even gonna mention his name. So that's basically what you did. Until you bring somebody in there that's serious about getting to the X's and O's. I didn't hear about the apology. I'm like, Banks, man. I mean, at that point, it don't matter. You said what you said. You did what you did. You was a part of it. If it didn't come from the network or if it don't change, it don't matter. So we gonna see what he does moving forward as being a serious contributor and not the frat boy from Animal House.
Absolutely, man.
let me interrupt you before you go on, Leo. I mean, this is not gonna be the last time this happens. We got another game Sunday. You don't think they're gonna be all up Patrick Mahomes behind? They will.
All right, we get
And they
we'll get
already getting you ready for it because
We'll
they
get we'll get we'll get to that here in just a
okay.
second. Hold your thunder, hold your shine. We'll talk about the Chiefs game here in just a minute, Banks. Couple of more items here to talk about with this Philly game, and then we'll talk about this game coming up here on Sunday night. But a couple other things I want to go over, fellas, before we move forward and look forward to talking about the Chiefs tomorrow. And would be remiss if I didn't talk about somebody right now. Yes, I got to talk about this guy, Kurt, my cousin. Them, if you from the A, if you from the country, man, this is kind of like when we say my cousin them, my mom and them, man. This is so Kurt, my cousin them. I got to talk about him just for a second, guys. Give him a little shine, man. Listen, but everything that happened against the Steelers, right? We look, there were a bunch of different things, man. Everybody kind of dissected this thing with a microscope, looking at Kurt like, man, what's going on? Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Banks, obviously, he should have been playing in the preseason. What is this? What a mess. And to come into this game here against the Eagles, man, and to do what he did on that final drive, I mean, he fought tooth and nail throughout the most part of the game. Shout out to the offensive line. They did keep them clean for the most part. I was one of the people that felt like they were going to have fits with this Eagles defensive line, and the Eagles defensive line, for the most part, was kept kind of quiet. But I gotta give a shout out to Kurt, my cousin, man. Kirk Cousins did his thing, man, and that final drive really kind of laminated why the Falcons went out and paid this man that money. In the previous 2 years under the previous regime, I'm not even gonna go into names, we have not seen the Falcons be able to close the deal or close out games. And that was a problem. That was a big problem when we had games right there for the taking, or all we had to do was just hold on, and we could not do that. I know it was just week 2, but watching Kirk go out there calm, cool, and collected and drive that ball down the field and score in the manner that they did was phenomenal, was exceptional for any quarterback of any caliber in this league. You know what I'm saying? That was, and one of the things I had the chance to go back and do was I had a chance to go back and watch the Peyton cast with Peyton Manning that actually had Matt Ryan on, and Eli Manning watch that final drive. And we all know, guys, that those 3 are Hall of Fame type quarterbacks. And to listen to them talk and to watch them and see them get excited about what Kirk did on that last drive just further kind of reiterated, man, that, Kirk still has something left, okay? And that's the reason the Falcons went out and got him. And I'm like, there's no need to panic. Kirk did his thing. And once he finds his rhythm, I think that this is going to be a team and an offense to be reckoned with, man. That just showed us what can be, you know what I'm saying, every Sunday, every drive potentially. Derek, I'm going to give it to you here first, man. Kirk, my cousin, though, man, kind of got to give him his props on what he did on that last drive, man. I don't care nothing about what the Eagles defense was ran. That ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China, man. That man came out there, settled down, and took us down to the promised land, right?
Hey, absolutely. It was a thing of beauty. It actually reminded me of one of my favorite comebacks in Atlanta Falcon history when we played the Chicago Bears at the Dome. And we had 13 seconds, I think it was, left, 13 or 18, somewhere in between there. And old money Matt Ryan, 11 seconds, thank you, sir, took us down the field for that field goal to win the game. That's probably like one of my all-time favorite comebacks. So this one going to be somewhere in between that one and some others. So with that said, the drive was masterful. Mooney was clutch. The O-line was clutch. The play calling was clutch. The catch by Draco, I'm gonna call him Draco until we forget about that
incident.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Draco. He had the Draco out. That's probably why he did it. Somebody named dubbed him Draco in the locker room, so he had to do that celebration. And the route was spectacular. As a ex-wide receiver, all I got to tell you, son, is that route was masterful. When you get someone down on the goal line and they out there and their hands open like this and they like this, you got them. When they open up like Moses did the Red Sea, you got it. I said, oh, he cooked. That's why he had to come back after the game and apologize. Like, yeah, because you knew they're going to eat you up in the locker room, brother. They're going to eat you up in the film room, everything else. So you had to go ahead and apologize for getting your jaw shook off and laid down on the field at Lincoln.
Man, out there getting cooked.
Kurt, give it up
out there getting cooked. Yeah, man, give it up to Kurt, man, for real.
Oh, man, went 20 for 29. He went 20 for 29, 41 yards, and two tosses for touchdowns.
I don't think
all
I
got to say
Kurt,
is,
man.
nah, Hey, he just need to get that little rust off and get that mental game tight. So I think he's gonna be all right. Just got to bring it tonight. I'm gonna say tomorrow night. Just got to bring it tomorrow night. Somebody better tell them two interior guards they got a monster to block.
All right, hey, listen, it was quote unquote supposed to be a monster up there in Philly with Jalen Carter, but I couldn't see it. Banks, I'm gonna give it over to you, man, before we run this rundown of the Chiefs matchup on tomorrow night, man. How did you feel about Kirk Cousins' performance up there in Philly and what he was able to do?
You sitting there and watch this man play, throughout the whole game, he was like still going, looking kind of gingerly, trying to, just keep it close to the vest. That last drive, fellas, he just said, you know what, screw it. We got to win to go get. And it seemed like it was a tale of two different Kurt's. I mean, literally, like from the previous drive to that drive, he was masterful. He went down there. He kept those guys in the huddle, like, look, get to the line. Let's go. Let's go. And that last play, man, I mean, Darius Slay, bro, dude, hey, they are barbecuing you in Philadelphia this
They're
whole
getting
week.
cooked.
Barbecuing Darius Slay. They were like, "Why were you looking back at the statue? You could have been looking at Drake." Yeah. Well, he wasn't looking at Drake. He was looking at that ball landing in his hands. So yeah, that whole drive for me, y'all, it felt like a springboard, going forward for Kurt all the way through the season. Yes, Leo, you are correct. He should have played preseason. I think that would have probably sped up his mental stage, if you will. I mean, I felt like he had something back of his mind about he didn't want to get hit on that repaired foot or Achilles, whatever that is. But he had to get hit a couple of times near that leg so he can be like, okay, I'm good. Let's go. I just felt that, I keep thinking about, that week one. I'm like, that just can't be, this can't be it. This just cannot be it. So yes, springboard all the way up through week 3 to week 4 to week 5. Let's go. More reps, the better.
Hey man, listen. Hopefully, this, like you said, Banks, we can continue to build on this, build on this, man. Also, shout out to Coach Raheem Morris for getting his first official win as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, man. So shout out him, man. Very excited for him, and we're just gonna keep this thing rolling. So yes, Banks, here we go. Let's talk about the matchup tomorrow night. But before we actually get into the matchup, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about that are going to happen tomorrow night. First thing is, fellas, nationally televised football games are back here in Atlanta. I want to say for the first time in maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer, man. We get a nationally televised game here in the city Sunday night, man, against the Chiefs. I'm excited about it. We already talked about the Foul Corners tailgate going down at 1 o'clock for an 8 o'clock kick. It's going to be a party tomorrow night, fellas. Derek Cole, how do you feel, man? First time in a long time, got a nationally televised game back at the house. What's up?
I'm extremely excited that this city is going to be on showcase basically 2 primetime games in a row. And let me tell you, the city is ready. I absolutely unequivocally feel that the city is going to show up and show out. In other words, get your butts in the seats. Even your boy Derrico gonna get in there early to make sure that his butt is in the seat because we want to make sure that we show well on TV before the game start. That's why they're
Hey,
gonna
man.
have some pregame entertainment to help y'all understand.
And I ain't gonna give that
Get
away.
there,
They're gonna have to
yeah,
come down there and see that for themselves. I'm not gonna give that away. I'm
yeah.
gonna give something else away though here, man. And let me tell y'all something. For those that know Derrico, man, this is huge. If he say he gonna have his butt in the seat early, then this mean is serious. Banks, over to you, man. We back on national TV, prime time, baby, versus the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, man. I'm excited.
I'm,
You can tell.
I'm glad you said because I was just about to spoil it, but I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut about it. But I will say this, yes, I am very excited. The last primetime game, fellas, was Sunday night against who? It was against those Eagles. And if you guys remember that last play with Julio Jones on that bubble screen on 4th down, and we won the game in overtime, was the very last time we saw Mercedes Benz at nighttime. So guess what, fellas? Look, we're here. It's Sunday night. We on showcase. You know, I wanted to finish my point, Leo, about the national perspective. I mean, how they perceive Atlanta, per se. It's backhandish, if the least. Collinsworth, that guy, there's a guy, he will sit there and say, well, I'm so glad Atlanta won against Philadelphia. It makes for a better game against the Chiefs. No, you just want somebody to talk about, because I mean, they got a drinking game already across Falcons Nation, guys. How many times 28-3 is gonna be brought up in this broadcast? Get prepared to go to the hospital, because they're gonna talk about it as much as possible to prove a point. If I advise anybody that's watching the game on TV, is to mute your TV and turn on 92.9 The Game and just listen to West Durham. That's the only way you're gonna get without pulling your hair out. Listen to this a one-sided match when it's clearly two teams playing. So listen, this is the wrong team, in my opinion, to want some national I guess what you want, some respect per se, because this is the Chiefs. You're not getting it. They're talking about Chiefs first, second, third, fourth quarter. Okay. Even if he throws a pick and they down 20. But did you see that throw? How it is spiraled into JC Bates's hands. I mean, it's just gonna be something real stupid and so backhandish. It's just gonna be mainly Chiefs, secondary Falcons. Just wait. And guys, just take the game for
Hey,
what it is.
hey man,
Enjoy it,
listen.
but do not expect anything, no roses, no accolades.
We're gonna get out there. We're gonna enjoy it, Banks. We definitely gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy it from start to finish. I know I am, man. And listen, so if you did not, so one of the surprises I will not give away. So I'm gonna challenge all of the Falcons fans that listen to us and listen to this broadcast, watching us live. Hey, look, I know the tickets out there kind of high, but look, come out to the stadium. The Falcons are doing this up, man. They always do it big for these primetime games, man. It's gonna be some surprises for everybody. So one of the things though I want to talk about is Arthur Blank is gonna be honored and put in the Falcons Ring of Honor. And this is huge. This is essentially huge. This is the man that actually, in my opinion, put the Atlanta Falcons organization on the map as far as NFL is concerned, making it a world-class organization, not just just for the city, for the fans, for the team. This is what this man continues to do for the community, man. I'm just very excited that they're able to put this man in, what is essentially our Hall of Fame here. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be forever, we'll forever be, able to go and see him in this Ring of Honor. And because of that, just because I know a lot of y'all gonna come in there all nice and lathered up, you know what I'm saying, from the tailgates from 1 o'clock all the way until 8 o'clock. They give every fan that walk into that stadium 2 hot dogs, 2 bags of chips, and a big old collector's cup with Arthur Blank's face on it, man. So yeah, so after you come in and get all lathered up, because Derek, I know how you like to do. You get in that stadium, you be good. You be like, man, I want something to eat. Go down there and grab you one of them hot dogs or 2 of them hot dogs and let it ride, man. Because they say they put the order in. My homeboy showed it. They ordered about 200,000 hot dogs down there at MBS for everybody, man. So that's one of the things, man, that they continue to do, man, to show that they're a world-class organization, man. So shout out to Arthur Blank, our man Arthur Blank, going into the Ring of Honor. Yes, man, Atlanta does influence everything, man. We really and truly do. Listen, one more thing before we actually talk about the meat of the game and how you feel about it, fellas. I want to give this out, and I want you guys to help me reiterate this and challenge this fan base, because I know you guys can do it. And I'm going to start here with Banks first, but I'm going to give my take on it here. Derek already alluded to it just a little bit. Get to the game, get there early, be proud, and be loud. I know we got some mixed feelings about these white flags, but listen, they're going to be the other team. We know the other team's fan base is going to be there, but this is a nationally televised Sunday night game. So if you come into the game Sunday, I'm challenging everybody that's a Falcons fan to come out there and represent. We coming off a huge win up there in Philly. Matter of fact, we had a bunch of fans that went into the Lions Den and stood tall up there in a hostile environment. If they can do that, I know y'all can bring y'all behinds down to Mercedes-Benz tomorrow and show up and show out for this damn team. Don't be sitting there with the church clap. None of that. I need y'all up on y'all feet, man, cranking this thing up. Because, I'm not even going to get into who might come and who might going to show all this bullshit. No, we need to be front and center, ATL. Banks, I'm gonna give it over to you, man. I want you to tell this fan base how important it is for tomorrow night on Sunday Night TV to show up and show out.
Listen, we have to do this every big game. It's to the point now. It's like, who are we really talking to? It's not the diehards, that's for certain. I mean, we basically seem like we're reaching out to the casuals because they come in, they want to look cute. They want to, see who's there, how many honeys they can holler at. Listen, this ain't the time for that. We go to the football game to have a good time, truly. But when I walk in Mercedes Benz, that concourse is full of people. I mean, I'm talking about the whole. I walk the whole circle, and I cannot get through sometimes. But you're not in your seat though. You're out there in the concourse. The team can't hear you from out there. It's good that you're there, and it's good that you're trying to see who you can see, but they need you in the seats, people. I mean, I couldn't understand for the life of me. I mean, this is what 10 minutes before the kickoff, and there's no one no near thinking about going to their seat. They're just standing there. Give me a break, y'all. I mean, get to your seats. I recall back in the Georgia Dome, I remember a playoff game, and I remember after the coin flip how full the Georgia Dome was. I mean, it was every ass was in a seat. Excuse my language. It was every butt in the seat. Okay. And that was a playoff game, and it was electric. It was loud. I know we can duplicate that in the Mercedes Benz. I know we can. We've done it countless times. But we trying to be cool. We trying to be seen. This ain't the time for that. I mean, we really need to stop trying to bring it home to all casual fans, because I know the diehards ain't doing this. The diehards in their seats.
We got to
The
show up and we
diehards
got to
in their
show out.
seats, y'all. I mean, it's just
Hey,
I'm in my seat at freaking 12:20, and I know if I can get there, you can too. I mean,
we
you
gotta
absolutely can too.
we're gonna show up and show out, man. Derek Cole, man, let's hit it. Let's tell these casual fans, as Banks just put it, what they need to do, man, and then we'll talk about how we feel about this matchup before we close this thing out, man. Tell them what they need to do, Derek Cole. Give them instructions one more time.
Again, if Derico is leaving the best tailgate in the city to make sure that his butt is in the seat, you need to follow suit. I mean, it's going to be a long night, long day. You worry about Monday morning when Monday morning comes. So get there, participate, and be legendary on Sunday night. Because I just think we got something special brewing in Atlanta, and everybody that's in that stadium is going to be a part of pushing our team to a victory. So get your ass in your seat early. Well,
Get
our
there.
ass, Banks.
Get there, and do your thing, man. I feel like we're gonna show up Sunday tomorrow. I really do. I feel like we're gonna show up Sunday night. All right, fellas, got a couple of minutes here to talk about and discuss this matchup here, man. And I guess I'll go first. Listen, we know what's in front of us. We knew what was in front of us going up to Philly. And like Derico and Banks have said, the tables are going. We're not. It's not going to be favorable for us. All the talking heads are already, with this love affair and this slob fest with the defending Super Bowl champs, and as well as they should. They are the champs right now. They are the defending champs. They coming into the house. But listen, man, there's a team I think, like Derico just said, that has something brewing, man. You know what I'm saying? That Philly game was a shot of adrenaline, not only into the team, but into this fan base. I feel like, man, there's something special going on here, too. Tomorrow night should be a coming out party. This team is going to fight. If there's one thing I saw up in Philly, and even in the Steelers game, is this team is going to fight. You're not going to walk over this team. You're not. You're not going to look at your schedule and say, oh, it's just the Atlanta Falcons. No, you're not going to do that. I don't think this team was built that way. I don't think Raheem Morris coaches that way. I think that this team is going to come up big tomorrow night. I've watched the first two Chiefs games. They look human. I know who they got. I know they got Patrick Mahomes. I know they got Travis Kelce. You ain't got to remind me of all the players and all the star power that they have. But they got to lace up their cleats, just like the Atlanta Falcons got to lace up their cleats. Be at home, got to bring the juice, got to bring the energy. I think I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. I think the Falcons are going to shock the world tomorrow night. I really do. And I hope to come back and talk about how big this game is, potentially moving down the stretch against that other little nasty ass team that we don't want to talk about. But I digress. Tomorrow night, man, I'm looking for big things for the Falcons, man. I'm looking for the Falcons to pull this thing out against the Chiefs. And I know I'm a fan. And as a fan, I feel really good going into this game at home. Banks, I'm going to give it over to you here, man, about this matchup versus the Chiefs.
We have a big game that we have to play. And I'm not talking about just the team, the fans too. We got to weather our emotions. It's going to be it won't be 11 on 11. I mean, you guys should know that already. It's going to be 11 against 14, which is probably the referees. Referees going to be probably a big deciding factor in this game. I hate it, but that's what they do. You know, this is the NFL's. He's the photo boy. He can't do no wrong. You know, I'm not going to sit there and talk about his past games and how he gets away with murder. I sound like I have sour grapes, so I'm not going to go there. But all I know is it's not going to be just cut and dry, 11 on 11, X and O's kind of game. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be, a lot of, controversial calls where we got to sit there on pins and needles. This may determine the game. It's going to happen. You know, I feel like you got to get your mind right for a game like this. I recall something similar when we played the Patriots a while ago. We played the Patriots with Tom Brady, and it was a good game, but it was more. It was influenced by the guys in stripes, and it was unfair, but at the same time, it was like, what do you do? I mean, this is what they do. This is what the NFL does. You're just playing the game. We might be in it for it, fellas. This may not be as just cut and dry as you think it is. Fans, we need that emotion in that stadium. If you're gonna boo, then boo. If you're gonna cheer, then cheer. But we need you there, and it's gonna be one of those games.
All right, man. You heard it from Banks. Derek Cole, man, final thoughts against this matchup versus the Chiefs as we close this thing out, man.
I mean, my final thoughts are just simple. Show up. Everybody show up. From the event coordinators to the ushers to the servers to security. Everybody show up and do their part. I pray that Coach Raw has got this team together and got their mind right for KC. And like Banks is saying, with the aura that they're bringing in, just show up, be prepared, do your assignments, and don't be Philly. Just don't be Philly. Meaning, if your number is called, do what you're supposed to do. And for God's sake, tackle. Tackle. I just want you to tackle. I ain't talking about after 10 yards down the field. I'm talking about I need somebody to be aggressive in the hole. I need our linebackers to play better. I need our offensive line to play as best as they can. I just thought about something. You hadn't heard that our what's his name? Help me out, Banks. The guard, our new guard, start with a B.
Bergeron.
Bergeron. See that's how good he's been. I don't even know his name because his name ain't been called. That's a good thing. I need him and Lindstrom to be stout because 95 is gonna be stout. If we do those things, man, be prepared, be fundamental, tackle, do your assignment. I think we're gonna be all right. You ain't asked for it. Can I go ahead and say what I'm gonna say? Because you ain't asked for no prediction. But my prediction is it's gonna be a 6-point game. The Falcons gonna win by 6 points. It's going to be like a 27-21 game.
Hey man, from your mouth to God's ears, we're gonna show up, we're gonna show out for it, man. I'll take it. Another W, man, and just continue to roll out this thing, man, and hopefully this team builds on what they see. I'm with you, Derrico, on the tackling and just play solid fundamental football. Banks, if we play solid and fundamental football, we take the refs completely out of this. And I know they like to sandbag and throw flags, but if you play solid and fundamental, try the best that you can. That's all you can do is try the best that you can, play solid and fundamental. Hopefully, man, that the refs will keep them flags in their pocket and we'll let these boys play. Man, look, as always, fellas, man, it has been a show. We always have fun doing this, man, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at the Falconers tailgate. But before we close this thing out, got a couple of things here that we need to do. Want to shout out our partners like we always do here, man. First, we want to shout out our man over there at BEZ. Moisturizer and beard conditioning hair care products there. Definitely give my man a call here. Let me put the number up if you want to get some of his product. He's working on trying to get this into some stores around the metro Atlanta area. But hit him up at 470-222-9927. That's 470-222-9927, man. Hit him up, man, if you want some of the product, man, to check it out if you got a beard. Banks, I still got you, man. We're going to get you some over there. Derrico, man, we gotta figure something out with you, but we'll work on we'll work on it, man, to get that squared away. And we gotta also shout out our other partner as well, man. We can't forget our other partner, man, over at Eastland's Woodworking Company. Our man Phil. Like I said, for all your gift needs, man, weddings, bar mitzvahs, graduations, he got you. You name it, hit him up. Hit the QRC code while we got it up right now to look at what he has. And he does special orders. Send him a message. Let him know what you're trying to do. He'll do it as big, as small, whatever you need for him to do, he will do it. Also, man, I got to shout out our man, Coach I. Got to definitely shout him out, man, for, check him out here. He got a podcast coming up here in just a second. So definitely want to shout him out, man. We definitely, Derrico, got to get him on when we do some college football talk, man. We'll definitely work with him. Derrico, before we close this thing out, let everybody know where you're going to be and what the best tailgate in the city, where it is. Derrico done went to sleep on us over there. Oh, Lord. Okay, he having some difficulties. Banks, well, let everybody know where they can find you at tomorrow and let everybody know where they can find you at on this interwebs.
Well, you're going to find me tomorrow. I'm going to be over there with you guys at the Falconeers tailgating. May not get there at 1 o'clock, but I will be getting out there sometimes tomorrow. But you can find me at X1 Jarrell Banks on Facebook or Baby Banks 80 on Instagram. You guys hit me up. Wanted to also give a shout out to the Atlanta Dream for clinching the playoff spot. Congratulations, ladies. Took one on the chin with the Braves. We still pulling for you, fellas. But yeah, just shouting out to everybody out there. Just subscribe, please. I see you guys lurking, but you won't say nothing. It's all good, but we're doing a good job because I hear you guys after the show. So I appreciate y'all.
That's what's up. Derrico, I'm bringing it back around to you, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at tomorrow. The best tailgate in the city, and let everybody know how they can catch you on the interwebs.
Yes, sir. Y'all meet us at the corner of Nelson and Northside Drive behind the bookstore, but it's not really a bookstore anymore. There's some fun stuff in there. I'm not going to say exactly what the fun stuff is, but you can come get you some fun stuff and you'll be happy. That's all I say. That's at 170. I'm always going to give 170 Northside Drive, right across the street from Atlanta, Kentucky. Black-owned brewery there in the A. And you can find me on Facebook at StacyD.Derrico. You can find me on Snapchat at DJKRose6. You can find me on the Twitter at VSUSDD. I think it's right here. Yeah, VSU96 SDD. You can catch me on Twitter there. And you can catch me on IG at Derrico_Virgo. Yes, I said Virgo. Oh, did y'all know something? I got a little fun fact for y'all. It's gonna make you look. Did y'all know that Coach Raw is a Virgo too?
Shout out Coach Rob, man. We Virgo. Boy, I tell you the truth, man. We're gonna close this thing out tomorrow, Banks, on this Virgo season. That's it, man. That's it with this Virgo season. Closing the door tomorrow. Listen, you're gonna catch me tomorrow at the Foul Corners tailgate. I will be there, man. I'm gonna be there representing, man. Come out there, holler at your folk. We're gonna be there. Got some special guests. So look, we didn't get the flyer up. My apologies, but if you come to the Foul Corners tailgate tomorrow, we got some special guests gonna be coming up that way, man. Also want to shout out. I do want to shout out Atlanta Tucky Brewing. Want to shout out our man Scales from Nappy Roots over there. He always shows us some love, Derek Cole, man. So we gotta shout out our boy Scales, man. Gotta shout out everybody that do it big and make that tailgate big, man. We'll be there. Come holler at us. Of course, if it's your first time, let Derek Cole know. And we'll know if it's your first time or not, too, man. But yeah, we want all the first timers to come over there, show us some love. Holler at Derek Cole. He definitely got you, man. You can also catch me on the X, Twitter, or whatever it is now that they're calling it Southern Set with 2 T's. Catch us on Twitter at ATL 3 Style, man. This has been another live edition of the ATL 3 Style podcast, man. We'll be back to you hopefully next week talking about a sweet W. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I tried to slow you down, dog. I had finally put it up. I was excited. So I was just putting that flyer out there. So that's my fault, Leo, for interrupting the closing. But here you go.
How the tailgate in the city is going down tomorrow, man. Corner of Nelson and Northside Drive, man. Y'all see us. This has been another edition, baby. Let's do it.